I'm sure you know J.R.R. Tolkien, you know, the author of The Lord of the Rings. I hope you like fantasy as much as I do. In fact, I actually try even to write some fantasies in my free time. But many people who probably like to watch movies more than read his books, they think that the elves, these beautiful and powerful beings in the fairy tale, are better, higher in dignity than human beings. And this is a big mistake. They probably didn't read correctly Tolkien, and especially they didn't read the Silmarillion, which is a sort of cosmogony of Tolkien's entire world, fiction, fantasy world. In this book, he actually explains that the elves, they actually dislike human beings. They think very little of them because the elves, you know, they can live forever, they are very powerful, they can be killed, but they would return to the earth eventually. But so they're not really killed. They can even die out of a very strong pain, but they don't really die. They remain somehow in a special place, and then they come back to this earth. They belong to the earth. So the elves would see the human beings as weird, like doomed people, because they reach in nothing, no time, the highest level of their potential, and then they decay immediately and die. So the elves cannot, and they don't know where they go, unlike the elves. They know where they go and they come back eventually, but human beings, they don't know, nobody knows where they go after they die, so they disappear. And the elves actually, sometimes they hate even the idea that a human being might be in love with an elf, and vice versa, because, you know, for the elves it's like lowering himself or herself in dignity that way. But Tolkien actually sees things differently. Tolkien sees that even the highest among the angels at the end of time will envy human beings for their destiny, because they received the greatest gift by God. God is called Ilúvatar in Tolkien's cosmogony, and this gift is precisely death. So death is the sign of the higher destiny of human beings. Death is the door to something else that nobody knows what it is, but it's higher. It's not on this earth, it's somewhere else. So human beings are exactly these strange creatures who are made for something that goes way beyond this earthly reality we experience every day. The elves, on the other hand, they actually are like Greek mythological gods. They are like the trees, like the volcanoes, the mountains. They are so powerful because they represent this earth. But human beings actually are kind of foreign to this earth. Tolkien says in his fantasy writing that the human beings are called the strangers because they don't really belong here. They belong somewhere else. And so basically, it's like their nature does have a twofold aspect. On the one hand, they are in this earth, they live here their life, but on the other hand, they have to aim at something beyond, something higher. So they have to keep thinking about it. Tolkien explains that at the beginning of time, man used to live longer, but then they were developing attachments to this earth, and they tend to forget their higher destiny after death. So God made their lives shorter so that they could see death better and being reminded of their higher destiny. Their real destiny, their real life lies beyond death. So death is their greatest gift. It's something that God wanted human beings for something higher, and death is what they should look at. So in Tolkien's idea, death is a sign of our transcendent nature. So it's amazing how much Tolkien's view in fantasy world matches the idea of a human being that we have been developed in our Western civilization since Greek philosophy, in which there is something, Greek philosophers have always seen something divine in us, something that belongs to a higher reality, not just on this earth. And if we don't think of ourselves as transcendent being, we are missing the most important aspect of us, being about the eternal life, eternal happiness, a kind of completion and fulfillment we cannot achieve on this earth, but we should be able to deserve through the lives we live in this earth.